was a video shared, and there was a request for me to talk about it. I think actually the request was for me to eviscerate it, but I don't know if I'll promise that going.
And that's the kind of vocabulary you can pick up by hanging out in the part of the prom inner circle.
I had to Google that word.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's evidently it's it didn't mean agree with it. So anyway, this is from the Chapo Trap House. I think I'm saying that right. Chapo Trap House. I've heard of these guys before. And I think we might have like friends of friends or something like that. I may have listened to a video of theirs like back in the day, but I don't really know much about them. I know they're a really popular podcast, like pretty radical, left wing, and they're funny with it as well. Which I radical political views and comedy. I like all of that stuff. So someone shared this video. I thought it was maybe worth talking about, diving into a little bit, and then I listened to a couple of their other videos. Just on the way to the studio, literally like when I was on my way here to record this episode. And one of their other videos, they were talking about like left-wing late night guys and why they struggle to be funny and stuff. And I thought it was really good. I thought they made some really good points, and it was entertaining and stuff. So anyway, I thought we'd jump into this. It's a video that they made on about libertarianism, and they're specifically talking about an article that was written by Robbie Suave, who's a writer over at Reason Magazine, who I've met several times. I've done a bunch of I've done Kennedy's show with him a bunch of times. I think I did Red Eye with him a bunch, and I've done SE Cup Unfiltered with him as well. I like Robbie a lot. I think he writes some interesting pieces over there at Reason. So I thought we would play this video and maybe comment on it.
I like that picture of Rothbard. He looks like he runs a KFC or something.
Yeah, it does look like Rothbard's
chicken.
Murray Rothbard's chocolate chip cookies. Get yourself one.
Get to the final one. In terms of a group of people who I think we need to court, how about libertarians? Let's hear what Reason Magazine has to say. All 10 of them. From former Chapo guest Robbie Suave, who says, Dear Democratic Socialists who think you're having a moment, it's me, a libertarian who's been through this. Robbie, I've got news for you. The libertarians in this country have never had a moment anything close to this.
No. He actually wrote, "It's me."
Yeah, it's me.
Hello, it's me again.
It's me. I'm Robbie Suave, and I'm very worried about iPhone case colors.
He writes here, Democratic socialism, the ideology which Ocasio-Cortez identifies, appears to be having a political moment, to which I say, as a libertarian who has been through the whole an idea whose time has finally come. Good luck with that, comrades.
Wrong.
The signs are easy to misread.
Didn't happen.
Yeah, never happened.
He's talking about Ron Paul, isn't he?
Yeah.
Being a libertarian now is like being a crackhead anytime after 1994. Who still does it?
All right, let's pause it right there for a second.
You ever see a crackhead?
Okay, first of all, that's pretty funny. I'll give him credit for that. Being a libertarian now is like being a crackhead after 1994. You know what? That's pretty funny, and also it feels a little bit true. That is how I feel sometimes as a libertarian in 2018. It's like I'm still smoking crack, but I miss the old gang. Like I used to have a big group of friends. They were all smoking crack, and now I'm just sitting out here alone. Like where's crackhead John? And you're like, he quit, got his life together, said the stuff was really bad for him, got a job. I'm like, where's crackhead Steve? And they're like, Steve died, and I'm just sitting there, but still loving this crack. I don't know what to tell you. But a couple other comments on that joke, because it is really funny, but it seems to be a little bit like contradicting what they started the video off with. So they started off by, Robbie Suave wrote this article basically saying, hey, Democratic Socialists, like I know you think you're having a moment, but from a libertarian, we felt like we were having a moment, didn't really materialize. And they're like, you never had a moment. No one ever cared about libertarianism. But then your joke is, it's like being a crackhead after 1994, which the analogy there would be that everybody used to be doing it, and now nobody's doing it anymore. It would kind of suggest that we did have a moment. I mean, crack certainly had a moment. I don't know if you guys were around in the fucking 80s and early 90s, but crack had a hell of a moment.
And just wait till the meat hawks make it safe and legal again.
Yeah.
We're bringing crack back.
And let me tell you something. Libertarianism could have another moment, as can crack. All of these things are somewhat circular, okay? So don't count us out, and don't count out crack. But anyway, I don't think... Look, here's the thing, right? you can say libertarians never had a moment. I don't know. Look, I don't think they had as big a moment as the Democratic Socialists have had over the last couple of years. But he, as one of the guys on this show addressed, he was referring to the Ron Paul movement. Ron Paul was a guy who nobody thought was going to make a big splash. He got millions of votes. He broke fundraising records. He was drawing thousands of young people everywhere he went to speak. So I don't think it's completely unreasonable to say that that was somewhat of a moment. And the other thing, in terms of like, being the only guy smoking crack after 1994, it's like, all right, well, I guess the reason I'm still smoking crack is because I'm not doing this as a popularity contest. I'm not doing it because this is what the other cool kids are doing as well, and then I'm going to stop because that's not the cool thing to do anymore. I was a left-wing guy. I was convinced by superior ideas, and I became a free market libertarian, and I'm still have not been convinced by any other ideas. So I'm still over here smoking crack in the late 90s. I don't know what to say. It's not just this kind of which is pretty standard for left-wing guys. It's kind of just this like, we're going to mock you into changing your mind. I've said this a lot of times before. Whenever there's these videos about libertarianism, it's always kind of like assertions about how bad things would be if we lived in a free market. A lot of mockery. And a lot of just kind of, I don't know, like ad hominem type shit. But there never really seems to ever get to the point where there's a coherent argument against the non-aggression principle or against free markets or against private property. So, I'm sorry. I'm not just going to be convinced by four dudes sitting around laughing. Yeah, no, laugh at me all day.
That's so much. It's like shame for free thinking.
Yes.
It's like we have the bigger group over here. So clearly we're right because you guys aren't cool. Where it's
I mean, you're smoking crack now. Crack's not even the thing.
Yeah,
Meth's the thing now. You should be doing meth, bro. It's like, well, I like crack.
Right.
I don't want your meth.
Or let's have a conversation about the merits of crack versus meth. And they're like, no, but you're not cool for doing the other one.
Yeah, it's like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm the last one. That's not what's ever going to fucking convince me. It's not going to be like, oh, what numbers do you have? Like,
Right.
I don't know, like the fucking abolitionist party in the year 1845 only had like 2%. Okay. By the way, by 1865, that fucking slavery was abolished throughout the West, but they only had 2% at one point. But who the fuck cares? That's not the reason you're an abolitionist.
And the
it's not because of what numbers are around.
And the masses do stupid shit. Like when I was in 8th grade, the masses loved NSYNC. Fucking stupid. NSYNC always sucked.
Yeah, and I'm still rocking out to NSYNC smoking crack.
Exactly.
So, there we go.